Hi, pet lovers. Thank you for joining Gina's Grooming channel, and thank you for joining us on another episode of our apprenticeship series where I take you through a procedure during my day in the life as a groomer so you guys can go ahead and look over my shoulder and learn from what I'm doing. Today's episode is going to be on doing a natural face, so it's going to be a head and face study. I'm going to be using Dino, our Coton de Tulear, as our beautiful model. If you guys hear squeaking while I'm lecturing, come here, Dora. This is his sister, Dora, who gets the run of the salon while I'm working on Dino, and then vice versa when I'm working on Dora. So if you guys hear her, she's just lonely. She just wants to make sure her brother's okay. So if you hear squeaking, you know what that's about. So let's talk about the face study that we're going to be doing. Is most dogs, especially pets, we get puppy cuts. So we cut their face kind of short and cute. But some dogs don't get that. And we want that Coton de Tulear long, natural look. But he is a pet. So we have to be functional. We have to make sure to open up those eyes, open up that visor, right? Shape his face, but keep it natural. So what I'm going to do is go ahead, go through his bath, his dry, his haircut, and then meet you guys back here when we're working on his head and face. Now, a note about his haircut is I do a skim trim. We do have a video about that on Gina's Grooming channel, so I'll put the link for that video down below. All right, guys, I'm ready to start his bath. I'll meet you guys back here when working on his face. All right, guys, welcome back. We are ready to work on this beautiful boy's head and face. Remember, we're going to keep it natural. Think of a show, Coton de Tulear, and have this very natural look. Now, Dino, we're going to kind of go half and half. Definitely not giving him a puppy cut, as you can see. And of course, his face, we're going to keep natural. But because he's a pet, there are a few things that we want to do to open up that face, but yet keep that look. All right, guys, I'm going to zoom in so you can see what I'm seeing when I'm working with Dino. I'm also going to bring out some equipment that I'm going to be using for this face work. I always have my slicker brush. That is very just important to have on the side. Even though I did brush him out completely already and combed him, I have my comb because I'm going to be manipulating hair with the comb. And then I'm going to take my thinning shears. Now, my thinning shears blenders, these are fine tooth, so 48 tooth thinning shear blenders. I'm going to be using this for the majority of the work because I want to make him look natural. And so remember that natural usually includes blending. But I am going to have my safety scissors, my 6.5 inch curved ball tipped scissors in case I need to snip anything along the way. All right, guys, let's zoom in and get his little face done. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to brush everything forward. And what I'm going to do is very, very conservatively and just lift up. See where that staining is? That's what I'm going to focus on. Just a little bit. Remember, everything very natural. The other side, lift up. Let's get this eye corner right there. I'm going to check to see if I could get more of that staining. They'll just look better. Okay, great. So let's take a look at him straight on. Very good. Just want to take a little bit of this stuff that's sticking into his eyeballs. Okay, and a little bit of this middle stuff. This is his stop area. Okay. Going back to the other side. Anything that's kind of sticking into his eye. Okay. Very good. Now we're going to be working on the visor. Okay, let's take a look at the visor. So the visor sits on top of the eyes, right? It's kind of, you can call it the bangs. And what we want to do is use our thinning shears to make this look really, really natural. So what I'm going to do is start here, and what I'm doing is moving my thinning shears as I'm cutting to give it a really good blend. And then I'm blending down the sides of the face. If my thinning shears have hair in it, I can just blow them out. Okay. Very nice. Let's take a look how it looks from the top. Okay. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, baby. Moving my thinning shears as I'm cutting. This gives a really nice blend. Good boy. Then I'll take the top of his head and really kind of see what can fall in front. He's got a little bit, but once I shake him out, you can see that pretty much he's looking good. I'm just going to take a little bit over here. More, and then blend down to the size of those face. Good boy. If I see any choppiness, I'm going to go through with my thinners and soften that up. Okay. Good boy. For the shape of his face, I lift up his ears. And I want to see everything that is his face without his ears. Good boy. Okay. Ting him up. And what I'm going to do is take my thinning shears and just shape along this line on one side. And I'm going with the grain. So his coat is falling this way. So I'm keeping my thinning shears this way, not cutting against the grain, because I still want to blend. Okay, very good. I'm going to do the other side, and then I'm going to meet up at that point of his little chin. Good boy. Okay, lifting up the ear. Good boy. Good boy. Now, as I approach down beneath here, I can actually start cutting across the grain to shorten this up. Good boy. I'm going to do that on the other side. It's okay, babies. With the basic shape, you want that nice round shape. Even though he's not a puppy cut, it still follows that pattern, but really long. Okay, cutting against the grain on the bottom, just to shorten that up a little bit. Remember, we're tightening it up. Okay, good boy. Okay, lifting the ears so that we can kind of see what we're looking at. Good boy. And then what I'm going to do is just take my thinning shears and make a little bit of a natural point. So it's not a blunt edge on the bottom, because if it was growing naturally, it would grow into a point. So good boy. And we want to give him that look. Okay. Good boy. Okay. How are we looking? Now I'm going to work a little bit. I see a little bit around his eyeball there. You see that? Okay, perfect. Now the last thing that I want to do is work around his mouth. And this is where I'm going to get those safety scissors that I have, because I want to do a few safety snips. Okay, good. Good boy. Okay, I'm combing down. Now what I'm really concerned about is if you can see that there's staining around his mouth. So I'm going to cut a little bit of that away so that when you look at him, the staining isn't so prominent. So just be very careful. We do have a video about working around a dog's mouth. And because I'm making this really natural, I want to follow that angle of the mouth going down. Good boy. Okay, good. And then I'm going to take my thinning shears blenders, and I'm going to blend some of this area that's a little stained. Try to remove some of that. Good boy. Little hair here. Good boy. Okay, T. Come on, T. Okay, let's see where we are. Good boy, Dino. Okay. Take a look at his face, lift up his ears, flip everything forward, make sure that it's nice and even. We've got that natural look. Let's go ahead and comb him. Comb him forward, make sure we didn't miss anything. Good boy. Just gonna go over those little visor lines real fast. Make sure that is nice and clean. Good boy. Just taking a little tiny bit of these eye corners with my safety scissors. Just following that line. Okay, good. Just open up his eyes just a little more. Well, all right, guys, thank you so much for joining on this Apprentice series on doing a natural face, keeping them long and natural and beautiful. Guys, if you have any questions, comments, feel free to put them down below the video. We are listening. Thank you for clicking that thumbs up. We really do appreciate it. We appreciate your time. Thanks for subscribing. We'll see you soon. Bye. Say bye.